Okay, Tuesday, October 18th. This is a mid-morning SPY update, about an hour and a half into trading. You can see so far after the gap up, price is currently red on the day. In other words, we opened up near the high of the pre-market range. First bar was red, followed through lower. Didn't get any red to green move. This is just an attempt at it, but then by the end of the bar, it just failed and continued lower. So it looks like what the market's doing here is filling the gap below at the moment, and the gap below meaning between the high of today and the highs of yesterday. There's a whole gap in here. You can see this kind of creates some stops to take out. Doesn't mean once it gets down here and takes those out, you immediately get long and expect it to come back up to the highs of the day. It looks like we're going to get some kind of consolidation kind of day. That might not be ready to move up to these targets as of yet. The only trade on the day, again, not something that you're really aggressively looking to do, but the only option was to sell that open and after that price action and just have a kind of a stop at the midpoint of that bar and say maybe we're going to be filling this gap first before we head higher and have a consolidation day. Or if you did nothing and waited for the red to green, you didn't get anything and you're just sitting here doing nothing. I mean, the way I see it. Then we'll see. To me, the weekly bar, this is the second day of the week, is still green. You don't know, as long as we hold above the open, I guess, which is the open of yesterday, I'll consider that at some point we're still in two-up mode and working up towards the highs up here, those daily highs around 380. But we'll just have to see how it unfolds. I don't think it's going to be necessarily easy today. Even if we take out these stops, is that an area, let's say the bar turns green, which I'm sure it will at some point. Do you really want to get long? And I could see it moving up into this little gap right here. So it could be a little scalp trade just to get back up here. We'll see how the day ends, and then we'll see what kind of sets up. Maybe tomorrow we have to come lower a little bit before going higher by, Thursday and Friday. I don't know. It could be that, it's always possible that this is the final move and we're going to be heading lower. We just couldn't, we failed to reach our target, and this is just a little bit of a pause and an overall downtrend, and maybe we're ready to start lower to these bigger picture targets. We'll find that out more as this day closes. If it's a big red bar and we already closed this gap, then I would expect follow through lower tomorrow. Maybe that whole scenario of broadening out here fails. But either way, I'm still expecting it to head up there, but it doesn't mean, it's guaranteed. And certainly, from a trading standpoint, you're not getting hurt at this point using the opening price action and the pre-market range in terms of guiding your decisions. So either you're doing nothing right here or you went short to fill the gap. And at this point, you'd have to just, kind of realize you're probably just heading down here as the first target, maybe scale out or exit. We'll see if this ends up being a directional day like the other day where you come down big, maybe one pause and another move down. If the pause is just nothing, then I would expect whatever lows hit to be tested again, kind of like this day here. We came down, paused, and went lower. I still think we're heading up there, but it's just going to be choppy. You could just imagine this is a whole trend heading up, and this is not unusual to come back and kind of test this area before it turns up. But it doesn't mean you're going to get a good buy signal today, but it does mean if we kind of stabilize, things could develop tomorrow above the midpoint of whatever this action is to start heading higher. So a lot of things to keep in mind, well, I think we are keeping in mind. We'll just see how this day ends. Right now, it's heading lower. Obviously, there it is to fill that, take out those stops, which were there. That was kind of, again, foreshadowed by that opening bar. And now we just see if this is kind of a pause area, maybe just hold this day relatively neutral. We'll see how the bar ends and go from there. So that's kind of a mid-morning update, and a long way to go in the trading day. Let's see where it ends up.